right, YouTube. Today I want to talk about a bit of a scary subject. It's called rejection, and also I want to talk about it a little bit. Then I want to give three ways in which I overcame like the fear of rejection, or what I used to overcome the fear of rejection. So just to dive right in, rejection is one of the most hated experiences we'll have in this life. I recently learned in a class that the part of your brain that's responsible for receiving physical pain is actually triggered when you get rejection. So, as human beings, because we are a social species, because we naturally want to be part of the group, we actually experience physical pain because of rejection. It's a deep hurt. It's a very deep hurt that we all experience. And because of this, obviously, most of us run from it. Most of us are scared of it. But the fear of rejection is one of the most crippling reasons why people don't move forward. And interestingly enough, it's sometimes it's always a doorway to get us to the next level we want to get to. So the so to now I'm gonna go over three ways in which I you what I used to overcome rejection, or what I used to get a little better of understanding it. Number one is understanding that rejection is normal and natural. A lot of times we tend to think that we are the only one suffering from that affliction, especially in the moment when you're rejected from a job. Maybe you had a romantic interest and they rejected you. You tried to text somebody online and they ghosted you. Your friend group went out on a to go to a party and no one even shoot your invite or something. We tend to internalize. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm the only one. And this self isolation only brings out more pain. But I ask you today to try to expand your brain a little bit and understand this. Rejection happens to everyone and almost everything, living and non living. Sometimes in life, there are just some things that only get better through acceptance and understanding. It's some things in life don't actually go away. Rejection will always be here. For example, you go to the grocery store, you see some bananas, you're going to reject some, you're going to accept some. Um, People go through rejection all the time. Some of the I There's very few people who are very successful who haven't gone through from some sort of rejection in their life. In To talk about elephants, one of the animals I love a lot to study. Elephants, when the males get to a certain age, they get very big and they get a little aggressive and they start maybe noticing females and all. They get rejected from the group. They get ostracized, and then they have to go off by themselves and a lot of times and find like a older male to be like a mentor to them. But that rejection stays with them because, as we know, as we scientists have studied, like elephants don't forget. So sometimes it's a pain that even intelligent animals feel. It's something we do to non-living beings like bananas, rocks. A builder might be building a house. He wants a specific stone. All other stones are rejected. So try to expand your mind that so many people and so many things are suffering from this pain, and it's a natural part of life. Life is actually about rejection and acceptance and rejection. That's basically life. And one of the ways you get rid of your fear of rejection is understanding that it's normal. Sometimes the reason why we're scared of certain things is because we think it's abnormal. Sometimes, when, for example, if you're a person like you interested in a girl, right, and she rejects you, you start thinking, oh my gosh, I'm abnormal. I should have been able to get her, this should have turned out good. But the reality is this: the reality is actually it's normal for people to make choices. It's normal for people in the dating realm to make choices, especially if somebody is very attractive. It's normal for them to, okay, no, yeah, no. So just try to understand, meditate on the fact that this rejection and this feeling of you get up from rejection is normal, and it happens to a lot of other people and a lot of other things than you. Number two is try to use rejection as a lesson rather than a loss. No, but as I said previously, nobody who achieved great things in life didn't at one time suffer some type of rejection or resistance. Um, but you try to learn from it. Life is tough, man, and you will need a lot of resilience to get through. And you need to keep going, in spite of all the harsh life lessons that you will learn. There's a resilience you need to have inside of you. And instead of, let's say, to the point of dating, you get rejected by somebody you're interested in, right? Instead of just wallowing in the self-pity of, oh my gosh, I'm rejected and the person didn't choose me, I feel awful. Instead, use that time instead to like say, talk to yourself, okay, what things can I improve? What things can I do better? If a job didn't accept you because they didn't like your resume, that's the time. That's a lot of time. Rejection is the door to reflection, where you just start to ask yourself, okay, how do I make my rejection more colorful? The next time I go for this opportunity, next time I approach a certain situation, how do I become more prepared? Because unfortunately, we just live in a type of universe where a lot of times, in order to sharpen yourself, you need to be rejected first. Unfortunately, as human beings, we just have this type of, it's just something about us. It's just like sometimes we need adversity to get better. If things are too easy, we won't go nowhere. Like people, for example, who are very talented, a lot of times they suffer from laziness. They never really get to their full potential because they already had it all. They already know how to do it. But rejection can be a great place to start to even discover some innate talents that you have and to develop to discover how resilient you really are. So use rejection as a lesson, not a loss. And finally, understand that rejection sometimes is God's protection. I know some people have probably heard that term before, but in life, we all have certain desires. We want certain things to go a certain way. We want certain things at a certain time. I've definitely experienced this. I'm pretty sure everybody has, but like when I was uh, in my earlier 20s, I wanted certain amounts of money already. I wanted certain things to be done. I wanted like my own place, everything, all these kind of things. But the truth is this: everything that you want and desire is not good for you. It's a hard truth to follow, but it's a truth. There are a lot of people who they have the things you want. They have the things that you think will make you happy, and they're not happy. And they'll actually come and tell you, listen, man, don't chase after this. This don't bring you happiness. You never know. To go back to the dating situation, um, like I wrote down here as well, like some men, they get the woman that they fantasized about, but they are living in pandemonium. You understand? Like they're living in hell. So you sometimes, when somebody's rejecting you, they're saving you from a lot. Sometimes when you get rejected from a thing, you just don't know. So to try to improve your mood sometimes. It's just like, if you know you approach a situation, you did the best you can, that's beautiful. Have that peace that you did the best you can. And if it didn't work out with that person or that job firm or something reject you, understand like, okay, I did my best. Maybe it just wasn't for me. If you probably go to that job firm and got really destroyed by maybe the attitude of the people, or you may realize I'm not really happy here. So try to trust the process, try to trust your process, try to trust the grind you're on, and understand that sometimes rejection is God's protection. So let me know in the comments if any of these things help you overcome the fear of rejection, and I'd like to hear some of your feedback.